Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, my Seattle people. You are listening live to the Jopra Show. I'm Joe Janot in studio today, and man, it is Thursday. It's sunny outside, and we are going to get to work. I'm fired up. We got a big-time show with big-time people. But first and foremost, I got to talk about a lot of things. Get off my chest, Lisa. I got to get things off my chest today. And I'm going to do it quickly. And first, we're going to talk about the fair. I went to the Puyallup Fair this weekend. And good Lord, I was there. Tim McGraw was down at the Puyallup Fair. And, man, if you guys have ever been to the Puyallup Fair, 1 million people, and they're all from Puyallup, right? And they're all from Auburn and Kent. And they all had hats on and had that cowboy gear. And Tim McGraw was rolling them at the Puyallup Fair. But I tell you, I had a great time. My kids were down there. We had really good food. But there's one place in particular that I just love about Puyallup Fair, and it's that barbecue guy. It's called Pete's Barbecue. He's got food going everywhere. I mean, there's barbecue going down the street. He's got ribs on a corner. He's got wood. Don't stand by the wood there, please. You're going to get knocked over. I mean, it's a great thing there at the Puyallup Fair. And that's one of the reasons I go. I had ribs. I had brisket. I had mains. It's truly, I would tell you this, I think it's some of the better barbecue in the Northwest.
Really?
Yes. I went right there. I told everybody, get out of the way. Incoming, hungry black man. I mean, it was like, I was like ready to get to work. So, I mean, the fair was good. But that was Saturday. And I thought I'd see my boy Eric because we were down by T-Town. But I kept looking for him.
I was at the fair on Saturday.
Were you? I was looking for you.
Were you not barbecuing?
There's a ton of people there.
Too many people in the barbecue line?
Why didn't you text me? I mean, were you hanging in the cat line? I mean, what?
Did you go pet the animals? Is there animals there to pet?
They had the cows, the pigs, the horses, the doggies, the chickens.
Saw the horses. Yeah.
I saw the white turkey. I said, poor turkey. Time was almost up. They had a little countdown clock behind it. He was counting down. Lady was sitting throwing some fat on that turkey. No, it was good. I like the Puyallup Fair. But then, Sunday, Sunday, it's all good. But then Monday.
Oh, boy, here we go.
I went to the game. And I tell you, Lisa, there is nothing better than going to CenturyLink, a.k.a. Questfield, for a Monday night game against the Packers.
It's an adrenaline rush, heart pounding, body shaking.
I took my lovely wife, man. She took that big belly of hers, and we went rolling through that place. Oh, no, it's okay. It's love there. It's love. And I tell you this, man, the whole place is rocking. I mean, there had to be 20,000 Green Bay Packer fans. They're
loud,
going, yes,
noxious.
Go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. And every time after that, bam, defense sack, bam, defense sack. But I tell you, what a great game. And I'm building up to this because my soapbox is way out of control today. I apologize. But I'm building up to this because we finally did what we never do in Seattle. We won one of those fluke endings. Now, I'm not going to say anything about the catch or Golden Tate. But I will tell you this. We won the game. And on a day like that, we never win the game. I mean, I've been to so many Sonics, Seahawks, Sounders games where we've last-second lost.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
It was ridiculous, and the crowd's going crazy. And so it was an epic couple of days here in Seattle for me. It was epic. And then to touch it all off, 3 o'clock, the city council finally doesn't do it wrong. They finally do what's right, and they grant my boy Chris a stadium. Woo-hoo. So, I mean, epic day. It is our time.
It's a good day.
It is our time, Lisa. Eric, I mean, I'm not joking you. It is our time in Seattle right now. Now, let me tell you about gambling a little bit, what's happened with the Seahawks. The Seahawks started out at the beginning of the year at 45-1 on most of the betting circuits to win the Super Bowl. The day after they beat Green Bay, they dropped down to 20-1. 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. So I'm going to tell you this on the Jopra Show. I'm going to give you a quick shot. The Seahawks are going to go to the Super Bowl to play the Baltimore Ravens. Now, don't fall over. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm a genius.
Put money on you.
Hey, excuse me, I got a little cold today. But yes, I mean, put money on me. You should, because it's going to happen. Come on, Mark. You know it's going to go through. But think about this stuff. So it's our time. It's our time. And I love that we finally win that game. We finally win that game. Well, let's talk about the show today. Get more to it. We got a big show coming up.
Big show.
Big show. We have a great friend of mine in town who started this network. It's called My Unfold. And
very intriguing.
Yeah, very intriguing. Mark Monroe is going to be in today. We're going to chat a little bit about that. And then about the 2:35 mark, we're going to go to the scene and talk about men, women, and in the bedroom. I got a friend of mine who's calling me who asked, Jopra, how do I get my man to be more experienced in the bedroom?
This could be fun.
And I said, well, first off, you got to get on the show with me. And second, you got to hear my girl Lisa, because I know she'll give you a couple of shots. So we got that going on today. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk to Mark Monroe about Mind Folds and then a little bit of lovemaking here on the Jopra Show at 1150 KKNW, Alternative Talk Radio.
Construction advice, ideas, and stories every Saturday at 10 a.m. Tune into Constructing Whatever. With over 40 years of combined experience, hosts Tim, Lynn, and Anna talk about whatever. From important need-to-know topics to fielding your questions from the latest industry news to humorous stories from the job site. Start your weekend project day with us. Constructing Whatever, every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This week, it's a Disco Inferno, Saturday at 10 a.m.
If you love dogs, tune in to The Dog Show with Julie Forbes, live every Wednesday from 2 to 3 p.m. We'll talk about everything dog and interview authors, experts, and amazing organizations, both locally and nationally. And don't even get me started on the pet food industry. I'm Julie Forbes. Find us online at www.dogradioshow.com and also as a free podcast on iTunes. The Dog Show with Julie Forbes, an evolved perspective on life with dogs.
Conversations Live with Vicki St. Clair discusses issues that are important to you, like good health and well-being, finding a new job and building your business, overcoming life's big challenges and making sense out of chaos, and living with passion and joy. Join us Mondays at noon Pacific for Conversations Live with Vicki St. Clair. See conversationslive.net for show schedule and guest information.
Hello, I'm Eric Krema, Operations Manager for Alternative Talk 1150. We value your opinion and invite you to 1150kknw.com. That's 1150kknw.com to fill out the 2012 KKNW Listener Survey. Your responses help us shape KKNW to your listening needs. Just by filling out the survey, you'll be entered to win a trip for two to beautiful Victoria, BC. Complete contest details and your opportunity to help shape this station can be found at 1150kknw.com.
Radio with no added hormones or preservatives. All natural alternative talk, 1150 AM.
Welcome back to the Jopra Show. Joe Janot in the house. And I tell you, Lisa Martin's with me, my sidekick. Lisa, how you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And Eric's here with me today. Eric Ryder, how are you, my man?
I'm doing good.
Well, you know, a lot on the Jopra Show, we talk about Dare to Dream. That's sort of probably one of my big segments. And I met these two cats a while back on my bar, having a couple of drinks. And they were telling me about this project they're working on. And not just any project. They just sort of like, well, what do you think? And so they brought out their laptop. And all of a sudden, within about a minute and a half, I was like, wow, what is this? It was called My Unfold. And so in studio today, I brought the founders. I got Eugene Jim and my main man, Mark Monroe, coming in. How you guys doing? Welcome to the Jopra Show.
Doing pretty good.
So, you know, you're telling me a little bit what's happening around here. I mean, what? You got a chalkboard or something, and you went out and said, hey, Eugene, I got an idea. I mean, what? I mean, where did this all start first?
Well, originally it started in my office where literally I was sitting back and I work at an engineering firm during the day. And so we go through many different resumes and in the engineering industry, you go through so many different individuals and you start to look at their resumes and they all start to look exactly the same. And so I thought, like, how is it that, you know, a person will truly stand out from this? It's like, you know, what is the story that I'm truly getting from this individual? And really, there is no story. It's just nothing but a piece of paper that's been the same thing. We've been caught in the same brick and mortar system over the countless set of years. We see that everything else is being innovated through Facebook, Twitter, even MySpace had its shot, and I think they're even starting to make a comeback. But you haven't seen anything within the employment, education industry, including even healthcare. So that's when My Unfold really started to take some form as far as how is it that a person, from their story, how is it that they can incorporate that and to be able to bring in like their accomplishments, their experiences, and to use that to market themselves within their career towards reaching out towards a new job or, for example, meeting new people or just presenting new options and opportunities. So
nice. Sort of like the new way of a resume, social-wise, yep. Right? I mean, and Eugene, I mean, do you guys think like is My Unfold? When I saw it, it reminded me a little bit about, I wouldn't say the word Facebook, but had that good feel to it. but it's more dedicated to the professional side, correct?
It is. It's dedicated to the professional side, but also we want it to be social because at the end of the day, is like if you work with somebody, you would like to get a beer with them too. You could always be professional, but then at the end of the day, when you work with somebody, you want to get to know them a little bit more. But really, at the end, for us, it's just about building relationships with whether it be companies that, we interact with on a day-to-day basis, or whether it's just certain individuals that you happen to meet as an acquaintance, and then you just want to, have more to that, have a deeper dimension.
Nice. And with My Unfolds, tell me a little bit about the name of My Unfold.
That's a funny story, actually.
You want to take that one?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
I Wikipedia'd it, and I came up with some weird things.
Actually, okay, so how it really happened was we basically stayed up all night. We decided, hey, you know what? We're going to start our own company, and we're going to have to come up with a new name. So we opened up our laptops. We were just like, so how do we want to play this out?
Yep.
And basically we just sat up 24 hours just looking up names and then checking on GoDaddy to make sure that the domain wasn't taken. And then, Mark finally came up with it. He's like, Eugen, what do you think about My Unfold? And I was just like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. In my delusional state of mind, that sounded perfect. And then the next day when we had a little bit of rest and we thought about it more, it just made the perfect sense because really it's My Unfold, share your life one layer at a time.
Yeah. Nice. And I think it's a great concept. I believe that, looking at knowing you guys and talking to you over a few times about this social network, it's going to go well. It's going to go big. When, though, when's this going to start happening, though? When can I subscribe and get big on this?
You can actually subscribe now. We opened up our site where it's just a landing page where individuals can actually add in their email address, and those will be the individuals that will get first access to My Unfold.
Okay.
Along with, we started making connections with universities. We recently just landed Howard University, in which we have support from the entire school. We also have support from Seattle Seahawks as well as the Sounders organization. And it's literally, they can also join us on Facebook, stay engaged. We're actually looking to drop as far as the beta. We're looking to come out pretty much the first, either the first or second month of 2013.
Nice. Do you think, I look at the whole thing about the My Unfolds, and is this... Like you're talking Howard University, American University. Mm-hmm. Is this based, how will it help a young college cat coming off his graduation?
That is definitely dedicated
it seems like that would be, to me, like the major program for My Unfold.
Yep.
But could you guys express, how'd that unfold for somebody?
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's like I graduated last year from the University of Washington, and I was looking for a career, a profession, and, looking at my resume, just writing down everything on a piece of paper, I was always told that I only need 3 bullet points for, whatever experience that I had. And one of my best experience that I could come from recent memory of school is case competitions. Now, not many people know what case competition is. I would be like, oh yeah, I was in case competitions. They give me a blank stare. They're like, what is that? Or, And it's one of those things where I wish I could explain to them, but it takes 10 minutes of, our time to just explain what's going on. But, it's like when I came on board, it's more along the lines of I wanted to build something that was more than just a piece of paper and more than 3 bullet points. It's like, so if I were to explain case competitions to them, I could show them videos of my presentations. I could show them photos of me working, or I could show them, the documents that I've created, especially, when it comes to finance or marketing strategies and things like that. And so for me, it was just to have a better dimension of me when I'm looking for employment. And I know that just applying for jobs within that phase of when I was looking for one was just hard, mainly because at the moment it was just I would have to sign up, right? I would have to fill out all this information. And then if I wanted to apply for a different job, I would have to do the same thing over and over and over again. And it was just tedious.
Right.
So what about somebody that's already career-based but wants to change a career or move on to, take their skills but, get out of where they are and expand into a whole nother option?
I guess I can answer that one because given my background, I went from the tech industry to then the fashion industry, and then now I'm in the engineering industry. And so if there was a My Unfold that was available at the time, it would have been great because that way my potential employer or my colleagues, they would have been able to see the depth of knowledge that I've been able to gain. They would have actually been able to see the experiences that I've had to undergo and also my accomplishments. And so it's literally, for the individual who even has a job, it's literally, you're literally showing your professional connections or whoever is in your network, you're showing them your legacy. Your legacy is literally unfolding in a matter of layers, whether it's through your education, your experience, the activities that you do, and then also how you keep gaining skills within the My Unfold platform. So it's really like they always say, you never stop learning until you're dead. Well, you never stop showing other people that you're learning and that you're growing as an individual until literally you just say, hey, I'm done. And so for individuals that are switching between different careers, you have the opportunity of showing them, like Eugen had said, video content, pictures. You can even tag individuals within the experience to show, okay, hey, I'm also a team player. So I always use the example, say, for example, we all work together on a project. And we all put it in our we all put it in our portfolios. Well, let's say that, Lisa, you were more ambitious. So you added more content to your portfolio. Well, since we were all tagged into your experience, then literally we are all getting that same exact information within our portfolios and vice versa. So if we're adding in different pieces into that experience, then literally it's only helping your portfolio get better.
Okay. So let's say that I'm the person looking to hire somebody. So do I type in something like fashion buyer, and then anybody that has fashion buyer under their name, they all pop up to me?
Well, not only that, but like we have a few different models. Like, for example, you could do the traditional method, which is, you have a job posting for 30 days and then individuals can apply. Now, the cool thing about that is only the qualified people will be able to see the actual opportunity. So, for example, if you set the parameters as far as education or whatever you may be looking for, only the people that you are looking for will show up within that search. Mm-hmm. Then there's also pay per submission. So, for example, if say you don't really want to advertise the job, but you just say, hey, it's available, then literally you don't want to end up and spend that amount of money towards like literally, okay, hey, I'm paying for a 30-day posting. It's just literally you're just paying you're paying per click. So you're getting different sets of people, but at the same token, you're getting qualified individuals. And it's tagged based upon skills, exams that they've taken, also their prior experiences. So it's a multiple of things.
Dang.
That's pretty amazing.
I'm sorry to be. I'm sorry.
It's just not your average Craigslist.
No. I can't do a simple post. I mean, a person like Eric Ryder, he's a radio producer.
Nice.
Could he then tap into something like this from My
Yeah.
Unfold?
So, like for example, if he was doing recordings and if he was also working with different individuals that showed up on the show, mm-hmm. for every show, naturally he can actually just set a different My Unfold experience within his portfolio. And then from that experience, he could be taking photos while he's on the air. He can also have video content, and he can upload that into his portfolio. So, for example, if he wants to show, hey, in this area, I specifically, this was the focus, and this was a new experience just for me being a producer, then it shows that. So you could show the different layers within Eric's producing career. So it's not just, he's not only now just a producer, but he's a producer in which he's worked in many different capacities.
Nice. I mean,
right. I got to get to work.
You got to get to work, man. The My Unfold experience has unleashed you. And so then, I mean, it sounds really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the more and more I keep hearing it, the more I see it, this happens. So if you go to www.myunfold.com, you can put in your email and subscribe, and then we'll process the paperwork. Now, how does the business side of this work? Now, down the road, I sound like there'll be some freebies they get to play.
Yep.
But at some point in time now, Mark, we got to pay some people.
Yes.
The investors got to get their money back.
Developers got to get their
take,
paid and everything else.
You want a small island somewhere next to Phil Gates, so we got to
helipad,
right? So then at some point in time, will you become like a pay to be a member for a year? I mean, how does this, Eugene, your chicken head, how does this work out?
I mean, in complete honesty, we don't believe that you should pay to say hello to anybody or anything like that.
Agreed.
It's free for users. Really, our revenue models come from things that will add value to companies as well as people who use our site. So in all actuality, I mean, it's pretty much free to create a My Unfold page.
Yeah. So it's free to be a user. So for example, I don't want to. actually name drop our competition if I can if I, yeah.
Whatever you want to do, Mark.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's up to you.
All right,
you're on the Jopra show. You can just let it go.
Well, as we all know, the white elephant in the room is LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, I don't know if everybody uses their LinkedIn, but on LinkedIn, once you would like to be more ambitious and meet more people, you actually have to start to pay for that. I think they charge you, I think it's like $19.99 a month.
Right.
And with My Unfold, we, like Eugen had said, we don't believe that you have to pay to say hello to an individual. So the user, they don't pay a single dime. The only time when they would literally pay something is what we want to do is launch a career and skill builder center.
Sure.
So it would literally be like paying like 25 to 99 cents just to take an exam. But once, like you said, it's adding value to your career. So you're showing that you're going above and beyond. I would pay the 25 to 99 cents to take this exam to say, hey, I understand Photoshop, or I know how to do this. Now this exam is looked at by the company that's looking to hire. So I'm going to take this exam so that way I can show them that I can do the work. I'm not only a qualified person, but I also mesh with the company culture. And then other models is, once again, the pay for postings for the companies. What we also have is another piece, which we're still in the patent process, but Eugen, he's kind of like the brainchild of that one, where he created this beautiful addition to the calendar, and I think that he should tell you guys about that, because that moves over into licensing.
Okay.
So take it away, Maestro.
I mean, for me, it's like calendars. Everybody uses calendars to some extent to just like schedule or try to reschedule, and so what I created to do was just help schedule a lot easier. So let's just say, Lisa, for you and I want to meet on something, right? I just basically put in your name, right? And then the amount of time I want to meet you. And then basically what happens is the My Unfold computers just find a time that we're both free to just meet. So that way we don't waste any time exchanging emails back and forth or, or smoke signals or phone calls. That takes a lot of time, especially to schedule something.
So with the My Unfold, is there, you talk about the networking, is there a way that you can box out, I'm interested in the Sonics and Seahawks, and I'm interested in wine happy hours and caviar. And then it links you all together in the thing where you can see where people are in the same area.
The beautiful thing about it is that that's one of the things that we definitely focus towards, and it's like we kind of actually had to go back to formula on that one. We wanted to build a parallel relationship between the users and the companies that also take part in My Unfold. So like we always say, like on the hiring side, it's like, companies bring you in for the interview because they think that you're qualified, but they'll hire you because you mesh with that company culture. And the reason why consumers feed into companies is because they relate to whatever their product is. They buy into the product. And so same thing with sports teams. The reason why we follow sports teams is because we think that they're cool and we love what they do, and we think that they're awesome. So we'll follow that, like some people in the Seahawks.
Eric, you can kill his mic right now.
He's just being a little bit bitter.
You can shut that one down, Eric.
But
let's ask another question though, before you get too far on my Seahawks. Here on the Jopra Show, we bring it to you straight, and we don't hold anything back. And let's just talk some scenarios. About My Unfold. My Unfold gets launched in a year. Explodes, goes crazy. Where's My Unfold going to be in 3 years?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I guess I got to tell that story. So we were sitting back when we were even just talking about the concept of My Unfold. I literally sat back and threw on the Beats headphones and literally just started to write out the company roadmap. And so with that, I ended up going from 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. And so with those strategies, what we want to do within the next year to 2 after we've successfully launched is to start going into education. We only look at employment as just one specific area that needs attention as of right now, because I think that's one of the major things that we see politically. People need jobs. That's one of the major issues.
Right.
And so it's not that there aren't jobs that are out there that are available. It's just the thing is, it's like, what are the mediums? And then also, are people qualified? And one of the things that a lot of people totally overlook is that students or people that graduate from colleges, they're very qualified because they're doing above and beyond the things that people would normally do. You no longer go to school, get an education. It's now you go to school, get an education, and you're also getting experience while you're getting your education. And so our next phase is to move into education, where we start working more and more with universities to actually start just like employers would like employ through My Unfold, but they would also start recruiting through My Unfold for education. Then moving on to healthcare. I feel like healthcare is one of the heavy areas and one of the heaviest industries that has yet to really advance within the social networking spectrum. You don't see it on LinkedIn. You don't really hear about it on Facebook. I mean, you barely hear about it on Twitter. But these are areas in which, I mean, they need attention. People need they need healthcare. They need to feel a connection with, say, for example, their doctor or their doctor's office, including when you're selecting a doctor. People, when it comes to choosing the right college, is this college going to be the good? Is this the college that I'm going to excel at? Is this going to be the college where I get that experience? Where is it that I can receive the best relationship? Where can I build relationships? And where is it that I can have a connection?
So can people write reviews?
Yes.
In a sense, like write a review, like I went to this college campus, checked it out, and this is what I thought. And same with like, went to this doctor, was amazing with my kids, like would highly recommend it.
Yeah. And we're also definitely going to encourage like, colleges or employers to also, I mean, what you're seeing now is you're seeing more companies using user-generated content on social media. So like instead of on a Twitter account or on Twitter where you see like, let's say, for example, T-Mobile, it's no longer, just this announcement. No, they're actually writing to their users about issues that are happening within T-Mobile. And so you're seeing more and more user-generated content so that way the users, they have a relationship with the actual brand, as you said. And so we would like for, say, for example, and this only helps the company culture itself. Because now for individuals who are looking to come on board to My Unfold, it helps. And then also people who already work at the company, they now, not only do they feel a sense of ownership that they're a part, but now they have a sense of, okay, I fit with this. I belong here. And I think that I know other people that would also belong here just as well. So
I feel like My Unfold would be, I mean, that's the big ticket.
It's like the one stop.
It is one stop. I mean, from a job standpoint, from a personal standpoint, I mean,
networking, meeting new people, getting out there, finding it.
Is it the grown-up version of Facebook?
Sounds like it.
A little bit. Okay. But let me ask you this before we get off. And I really appreciate you coming on the Jopra Show today and taking your time out because I know you guys are busy. Let's talk money.
Okay.
Let's talk about what you guys need. For this thing to go forward now, is the investment team put in place for this to be launched? Or do I need to do a fundraiser?
We probably, it's like fundraising. Fundraising is never bad. I mean, it would be great to definitely have that funding available.
Now, if I was a angel and wanted to help out My Unfold, how would they contact you?
We actually have a Gust account, so you can see us definitely on Gust. You can also visit us on theangel.co. We've built wonderful, I mean, whatever you see on Gust, you'll also see on our angel.co.
Okay.
And we answer pretty quickly, so... Yeah, they can definitely just access within our portfolio or just contact us directly and we'll get in contact.
Dare to dream, people. Dare to dream.
Indeed.
Dare to dream. I tell you this, though, folks. Today on the Jopra Show, you heard about My Unfold. I mean, when Mark Monroe in the house, Eugene Jim, guys, hey, thank you for coming on. You going to stay with us? We got another segment coming up.
We will.
Oh, you know you want
Coming
to.
up next after commercial here on the Jopra Show,
to.
we're going to talk about lovemaking, people. I got a lady who wanted to ask Jopra some serious questions about how to get her man up to speed in the bedroom. Only live here on the Jopra Show, 1150 KKNW, your alternative talk radio.
Hello, I'm Eric Krema, Operations Manager for Alternative Talk 1150. We value your opinion and invite you to 1150kknw.com. That's 1150kknw.com to fill out the 2012 KKNW Listener Survey. Your responses help us shape KKNW to your listening needs. Just by filling out the survey, you'll be entered to win a trip for two to beautiful Victoria, BC. Complete contest details and your opportunity to help shape this station can be found at 1150kknw.com.
Do you have legal questions? Need to know where to turn?
Hi, this is Rick Gregorick, your host of Northwest Legal Compass.
Northwest Legal Compass will address your questions on a variety of legal topics, including estate planning, asset protection, real estate and business planning, and more. The legal and accounting staff of Gregorick & Associates are dedicated to providing you with superior legal and tax services. Their integrated counsel is geared to the achievement of your goals.
Visit us on the web at rjglegal.com.
Be sure and tune in every Friday at noon here on Alternative Talk 1150.
This is the story of Daniel, who was born 2 months early. He weighed 1 pound 7 ounces. His lungs weren't ready. His heart wasn't ready. His brain wasn't ready. At the hospital, the nurses said Daniel was a fighter, and they would do all they could to help him. The doctor said even with the best care, Daniel may never walk. He may never see. He may never learn. Daniel's parents spent night after night at the hospital, watching his every breath, holding his tiny hands, and looking for signs that he was growing stronger. At home, his parents looked around Daniel's empty nursery, at the quiet toys and the still rocker, and they hoped that one day they could sit in that rocking chair and tell this story to their very healthy son. Daniel's is just one of the more than 500,000 stories of babies born prematurely last year, but there's hope for a happy ending. The March of Dimes is funding the research and programs to stop premature birth. You can help bring more babies home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.com. Working together for stronger, healthier babies.
News, traffic, and weather? Now you can get your information fix weekdays on Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
Every time I move, I lose. When I look, I'm in. And every time I turn around, back in love, I get mixed emotions. It's the way my
boy. Only on the Jopra Show can you have someone doing the prep in studio to LTD. Back in Love. He was grooving. That's why they get him going, Eric. That was LTD, Back in Love here at the Jopra Show. And I tell you, hey, our next segment here on the Jopra Show, I've been waiting for all week. I had a nice lady give me a call last week off the air, and she had some questions and some concerns. And so I said, Joanne, listen, come on the Jopra Show next week. Talk to my team. Because today I brought in Lisa, and we got a few sidekicks with us. And let's talk about this issue, and let's put it to the forefront, because she's not the only one with this problem or the question. So, Joanne, how are you?
Hi there. I'm great.
Good. Thanks for coming on the Jopra Show. You had a question. We talked a little bit on the air last week. So, ask us. What's on your mind?
So I recently started dating someone who's a little less experienced than me in the bedroom, and I'm a pretty dominant kind of personality, but in the bedroom I kind of like when someone else can take over for a while. I was just wondering, what's the best way to communicate to my partner what my needs are sexually, if it specifically involves him being more dominant without taking on the dominant role just to get him to be more dominant.
I got you. Well, that's a great question. That's gone on for years. And I tell you, Lisa, I've been thinking about this.
Yeah.
Joanne, how long have you guys been together?
About a month.
Okay, so it's still in the beginning stages.
New. Yeah.
Still everything's new, but I think that Joanne is like, hey, let's get this thing going a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right.
Is the basics? Are you having fun with the basics?
Oh yeah.
But I think she's wanting more.
He's great. He's just very gentle and tender, and that's great too.
The old passive boyfriend, the gentle, tender one.
What?
I said the gentle, tender one, the candle setter.
Exactly.
Now on the Jopra Show, we like to talk straight here, and so this is what I'm telling you. This is my 2 cents for you. What, Lisa? I think this. I think that, have you had some conversation about where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did he take that? Because sometimes dudes will go the other way. That could fold them up. They could pack their bags and be looking for the nearest Starbucks.
Yeah, that would basically be my concern, how to communicate my needs sexually without making him feel like he's not satisfying me already.
Right. Well, I think this. I think you could tell him that, listen, Joe Bob, I have much love for you.
Joe Bob?
I don't know his name.
Out of all the names, Joe Bob is what you came up with?
Okay, how about Marcus? All right, Marcus.
We've got Joe Bob. We've got Joe Bob. We've got Joanna. We've got Jopra. There's a lot of Joes going on.
But no, I would just think maybe that what you could do, though, is, Joanna, I think that would be good is that just, I think to catch them in the moment. One thing good about men is you got to catch them in the moment. And I think the best way is to get some wine going. Have a couple glasses of wine and set the tone. Because when you fill men up with wine, they tend to get a little mushy. And then you can start asking those good questions or breaking them down. Right? Do you think, Lisa?
Yeah. Have you said anything, like, while you're in the act of something you might like?
That's a good question.
If you are in the middle of it, like, I don't know we'll just say here, like, pull my hair or whatever it might be. Have you, while you're in the action of doing it kind of said some aggressive things, or maybe been the aggressor a little bit. So maybe he kind of is like, oh, maybe I can open this up a little bit.
Yeah. So I've been more of the aggressor just to illustrate that that's okay and that's desirable. But I think the other point in addition to that is that I would want him to take the lead on that.
Right.
Or learn to take the lead on
She
that.
doesn't want to drive the car all the time.
Exactly.
I got
so it's about being able to communicate that this is really sexy to me, but it's even sexier if you instigate it.
Right. I think role play is important here.
Yes.
I do. I think
so.
I think role play is important. I think that during the situation, I think you're right, Lisa. You got to
explain what you're looking for, or what you're wanting, while you're doing it.
Quick question. So, what is he like? Like, say for example, outside of the bedroom, what is his personality like?
Super duper tender and sweet and kind and friendly and nice.
See, she needs to go to.
He is the sensitive guy. He is just that nice.
He's a nice guy. You know what? We come back to the nice guy thing, Lisa.
Yeah.
You know you're rolling your eyes because you know about the nice guy.
Yeah.
You know, they're great to take home to see mom, and that's about it. I mean, come on.
How many partners? Have you asked the question of how many partners maybe he's had?
That is a dangerous question.
It is a dangerous question. But here's another thing too: is if he's younger, less experienced, and everything like that, it does make a difference.
Okay, he's had 3, and I've had 30.
3.
He's had 3.
Yeah.
See,
yeah. I mean, she's just going.
He's still trying to find his rhythm.
Yeah, I think he's trying.
I think he just really values sex as a communication of being in love with someone, and I am jaded, and I lost that a long time ago.
Right. So we have two different people here. We want someone who's prepping to get married, and we have someone who just wants to get down.
Yeah.
And, and I think that the best thing.
That's all going to be communication.
That's all communication.
That's all communication.
I want to get married now. I played my games when I was younger.
Right.
It's like I'm done with that. And really, if I could knock 20 people off of that list, I would be happy to do so.
I got you. But what about also? I mean, nowadays, a lot of people incorporate a little bit of soft porn into their role play. And what about that? I mean, because there lies multiple situations happening in the 3 or 4 minutes of watching, and you could definitely go ding, ding, ding.
Like, does that
ding, ding, ding.
Should we try that kind of thing?
Or why don't you role play a soft porn show? Like, you guys act it out as it's going.
I was going to say, it's like the only thing that I can really suggest in this situation is you're going to have to do something that's literally just going to turn him out. Like, seriously.
You're just going to have to.
You're really going to have to do something that's totally blows his mind.
I think so
because
too.
then when that happens, he's like, whoa, this can happen?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I want this to happen again and again and again.
Yeah, I think that's a good call, Mark. That's a good call. And I think, Joanne, I think that pushing him a little bit right now is good.
Yeah.
Getting him up to speed, practice makes perfect.
A little direction.
Direction.
I think taking the, even though you are taking the role, but maybe take the role and showing him what you want done to you while you're having sex.
But she doesn't want to do that all the time, though.
No, but I'm saying start out with that, because once he can hear her, or see her reactions, maybe then to him he'll start doing that because he'll hear or feel her reaction different against him.
Yeah, that's true. And that's already been working, basically.
So it's taking its role. It's
positive reinforcement and communication. These things.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement's great, and I've been doing that. But positive reinforcement only works if he already is doing something.
Right. But
if
you say like, "Oh, I love it when you take the lead," or "I love it when I don't have to start things up," or "I love it when you're a little more aggressive with me," and then he starts doing that, it's like, "Oh yeah, just like that." Just kind of keep reminding him. Because he might not be he might think of this as a one-off thing, and if you remind him that this is what you really like, this is what gets your motor running.
And it's 1 month. He's only had 3 partners. It's 1 month. He's still trying to figure out his own dynamic.
She doesn't have time to wait, though. Joanne's not going to go too far.
You can't have high expectations with very low patience, though.
Well
Sorry.
Wait, say that again?
I say you can't have high expectations with very low patience.
Okay.
So it's like, it's like, yeah, it's like you have a lot more experience than he does, but it's like you also, at the same token, you can't expect him to go from 0 to Brady in 60 seconds. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this a Marion kind of guy?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, are you guys down? You guys like have a good thing going?
Yeah.
All right.
And we actually have a lot of those conversations.
Okay.
We have a lot of those like future
So she's
conversations
just trying to
already.
she's trying to work out these little kinks so that she can lay down.
She's trying to work out the 20%.
Yeah.
Right? She's got the 80%.
Yeah.
She needs to get the 20, but the 20 is the hardest part.
And it's still fresh, though. I mean,
It's still fresh.
when you have a gentle guy and you're trying to build him up to a little bit more of a dirty guy, that's a little.
How did his have you guys talked about his past relationship at all?
A little bit.
Okay, so what happened in that last relationship? Did it end well, or?
Yeah, all of his relationships, all 2 of his last relationships have ended well.
What?
They've both broken up because of distance issues.
You need to contact his ex-girlfriends and ask him the question. You need to go down to the other side of the alley and find out how that went bad, because I wonder if there's a pattern.
He still keeps in touch with them and is.
He keeps in touch with them?
We all like it. Whoa.
Hey, Joanne, do me a favor. I want you to track down his ex-girlfriend and have her call me. I want to know more about this guy.
Were they long? Were they like?
How long were the relationships?
How long were the relationships? Were they a long period relationships?
I don't actually know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Oh,
I know
man.
one was like a high school sweetheart, which I would imagine.
Oh, those don't count.
High school sweethearts. That one.
How old is this gentleman?
26.
Oh, see, he's just getting rolling.
He's just trying to find his groove.
Yeah.
He is.
Joey, I tell you this.
He does not. He's not the token. He's not the token case for all 26,
But
27-year-olds.
it's also it comes down to a 26-year-old
Yeah.
who's had a lot of partners and has been promiscuous and out there and doing stuff versus a person who's had 3 partners at 26. It's a different scenario.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic.
Also, if someone doesn't want to have casual sex like that, then that value should be embraced just as much as the value to spread your seed is embraced by our society.
Yeah.
Right. No,
So,
I mean,
I don't think
concur.
I don't think it's necessarily important for him to be like, oh, dude, you should stop dating me. You should go out and sow your royal oats with another like 10 or 15 partners, then come back to me and we'll be ready to roll.
Oh no,
it's like, why would I say that?
No, I think that you're on the right path.
I think you're on the right path, and
I think that's good communication. It needs to occur, like Eric said.
Yeah, and I think too is right now you're kind of the Mrs. Don't take the age scenario thing. You're kind of the Mrs. Robinson here. You're going to need to step up and literally show him, explain to him, and work out what you want. And you need to teach him. And once he sees that and hears it in you that you like it and you're reinforcing it, all of a sudden one day he's going to turn the card on you, and you're going to be flabbergasted at what he's going to show up with.
Right.
I think right now it's like he needs the Mrs. Robinson. He needs.
I think there's got to be some education going on.
Taught. He needs to hear it from you, see it, the reactions. I think
the one thing about like oral sex is no one's good at it the first day.
No,
it takes practice. It takes practice. So you just got to teach them, and I think that's the best thing we got going for you today. I think there's good communication, good teaching, and during the moments, tell him what you like as things are progressing. So he starts to get a picture of where you're at.
Is there something that too that maybe he hasn't done that you haven't done either that you can experience together, whether it is the porn or
but that's
a
also
role
kind
play
of
or something?
Risky though. That's kind of risky when you watch porn with your girlfriend.
But it's something you're doing together for the first time and experience something together. Whether it's I don't know, a role play thing you could do, a toy,
I like
something that you're experiencing it together to build that base and that trust that then maybe he's like, oh, well, that works. So maybe the light bulb will go off on him and it's like, well, maybe this time I'll be a little more aggressive in this way or try something new for himself because you've experienced something new together.
And remember, you're only in that 1 month phase. So technically he hasn't even gotten himself comfortable yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really at the point where
you're still under
it's
the
like,
90-day period.
Exactly. So he's like you guys are both probably still testing the waters. But then once just like once when he moves in or something like that, like, when a person moves in, when they first, like, the first few weeks, it's like, oh, it's super duper awesome. They're a wonderful roommate. But then it's like after that time,
start piling up. You're like,
like
oh.
I said, be careful. It's like he may creep up on you, but it's like it's probably going to be when he gets comfortable.
You know what? Joanne, don't listen to that gibberish. I tell you this: go down to the nearest toy store and go shopping with him and make him buy you a toy.
But then, what if he freaks out when he goes to the store?
Then you know what you got, and you can let him go.
Oh, but he's a great guy, though. It sounds like
he's another great guy.
It's not very easy to find that 80%, including since we live in the Northwest. Come on, really?
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Oh gosh. All right, so I guess in closing, I think this to keep the communication going.
Yes.
And keep him in play. And I think, Lisa, it's a great idea to do something that you haven't done either, so that you guys can both experience it together.
And patience.
And patience is key. And I would love to have you call us back in a couple of weeks.
Please
I want to hear how everything's progressing.
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
And then if you can find the ex, I want to talk to her. I need to do some Jopra investigation. All right? Joanne, thanks for calling us today on the Jopra Show.
Thank you.
And we'll touch base soon, okay?
All right.
Good luck.
Okay. Wow.
That is interesting.
That's good, though. But, I mean, I think that happens a lot of places.
But sometimes you got to be patient. They've only been together a month. I
know, but it's a month. But, I mean, at some point in time, man.
Do they, another thing, too, is if he is such a good guy, I'm surprised that he, really jumped into sex already in a month. You got to
Well, but you also
baby
have to remember
step
that
it.
he may have perpetuated the situation.
Exactly.
You can be a nice guy and jump into sex pretty quickly.
Yeah, but he's had 3 partners and he's 26. I mean, let's think about that. How many times is that guy really just jumping into bed with people?
Maybe he had long relationships.
I'm telling you, these never work out too well.
So what do you think? Are you giving us a timeline or something?
Well, I mean, she's more aggressive. She's more dominant. She's got her stuff together. I mean, she wants to get married at some point in time. Do you think she wants to continue to educate?
It may be what he likes, though.
Well, we're
gonna find out.
We'll find out in a couple of weeks. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I hope it works out for her. She's she's like a real nice girl, and I think that she's in it. I want to see her win it.
If everything else is working out, besides what's in the bedroom, then I think they can definitely make it work.
Right.
It just needs time.
We got to find the ex, though.
Got to find the link.
Eric, we got to track her down. I'm going to do some recon on this one.
Just make sure you don't try to find her on my unfold.
How does a radio show suddenly become a creepy stalker?
I got some interesting texts last week on the Jopra Show after our show, and we got lots of texts and emails. And that's right. If you want to email me at thejoprashow@gmail.com or hit my Facebook at Jopra Show, I got a question about, everyone wanted to know about your date with this guy in your apartment building. And how's that coming along?
Part 2.
Boy.
We need the next chapter.
We need the next chapter. I mean, because,
Now, mind you, we're just coming into this movie, so this is like the sequel.
Just to give you a quick thing, last week Lisa had a guy that Lisa lived in an apartment building.
Previously on
the Jopra Show. Lisa had a guy who lived in an apartment building, asked her on a date, and she said, "Great, let's go out and have a bite to eat." Well, she went to work that night, and the guy showed up at her work. And at the end of her night, he slid his room apartment number over to her for the late night hookup.
I was like, I already said yes to dinner, and the guy's 16 years my senior.
Right.
So I was expecting a little bit more of a gentleman.
No,
a little bit more class.
Yeah.
He's a dirty old man.
Well, found that out.
So now I got more for you.
So the next morning, I woke up after the slip of the apartment number, and he was like,
Slip of the digits.
So I was going to walk my dog, and he goes, "So you didn't really stop by last night?" I was like, "Yeah, kind of awkward." Then he showed up that night at another place that I worked. So he texted me "Hey, what are you doing? Want to have dinner?" And I was like, "Where's he now?"
No.
So, and I bumped into him yesterday when I was out walking Coco, and he was like, "So, can I go for a walk with you?" Yeah, but it was really awkward. It was just awkward conversation.
So what do you want to have happen now?
Nothing.
I move out of the building on Saturdays, so I probably don't see him again.
Well, you better be careful, because if you show up to your place of work and stuff like that,
Thank you.
You might want to, you know what, honestly, you might want to, I hate to say it over the air, but you're going to have to give him the coup de grace or something.
I pretty much gave the, I had a little bit better expectation level from you. Especially of being a professional man.
He is just not getting the hint, is he? He thinks he's one of these guys that
he's never heard no before. That's why.
Sometimes the only way to be kind is to be cruel. You're gonna have to.
He has never heard no.
Well, that can also be pretty scary, also, because if he's never heard no,
right?
I mean, we fear for you, so.
But yeah, he hasn't ever since last week when I
He's not
did the
aggressive,
whole-
he's
he
just
hasn't,
persistent.
he hasn't he just
Oh, well, that's good.
hasn't persisted at all. I didn't show up at where I worked or anything. I just saw him yesterday for the first time, so it was kind of it was just awkward.
Week 2.
Week 2.
But
I can tell you this: I was out on Capitol Hill over the weekend, and I was sober. And I just need to point this out. I was sober, and
Capitol
I
Hill
tripped
stalker.
and fell
Oh, no.
while I was talking. As you can see, my finger, I knocked off huge amounts of skin on my knees, and there was a group of guys behind me.
Did they help
Winners.
you?
No. They walked
They
right
laughed?
by me, and this is what one of the guys said. He's like, wow, that really sucks, and kept on walking.
Only in Seattle, folks.
You know, it's been like that.
Only
It's
in
like,
Seattle.
The Seattle culture has changed for me since coming back from school and from different areas. And to me, it's very interesting. It's like people. It's always funny where people say that Seattle folks are very nice, and I look at them like, no, they're not.
No.
No.
We're cordial. We're cordial.
Come on.
You get Seattle freeze. Like, hey, we should hang out sometime. Oh, really? Let's set a date, or let's actually hang out.
They never show up.
Right, exactly. Then there's cliques within Seattle, heavy cliques. I
Right.
mean, now you get that in New York, you get that everywhere.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things is the passive aggressiveness, including when it's like, something like that happens. You would think that people would stop and help. Like,
No, this is Seattle.
but then again,
told you
I
they will-
experienced that in Salt Lake because I was in Salt Lake's airport heading to D.C.
Oh my God, the story is crazy.
And this lady literally collapsed. She was having cardiac arrest.
Whoa.
And I was like, okay, help. Somebody help. And everybody was just like walking by. Like, there was like somebody,
what?
and then somebody said somebody should call somebody. And he kept walking. He had a phone in his hand.
Jeez.
And so
When did,
I literally
this
stopped to give her
manner
CPR,
stop?
and everybody just like kept walking by. And I was like, okay, I'm hoping I'm doing this right. Mind you, I got my certificate a long time ago. Finally, the student from Duke came, and she was a med school student, so she helped out. But I mean, it's scary.
When does common courtesies of opening a door, helping somebody up, stopping? When
People are so jaded now. They just
is it
assume
the
everything
internet?
is a
It's just
scam.
taking away common
No, it's the
talking?
damn phone.
Well,
The phone has stopped everything.
I mean, come on. It's like this. It's like, how hard is it? Everybody has a cell phone these days. How hard is it to just stop, dial 911, and
Right.
explain the situation,
Exactly.
even while you're walking away? You could even do that. It's a cell phone. There's no wire to it.
I think they're not going to do it until you can actually text 911.
Well, I'll tell you this. Well, then why is it that so hard at last minute you get a phone call saying, hey, I got to cancel? How long have you known?
Oh, that
Seattle-
irks.
the
There
tourists-
is nothing that irks me more than that.
How long
Nothing
have you
irks
known?
me more than that.
Well,
People
I-
not to be able to come.
I tell you this, man. That's how it goes down here on the Jopra Show. We're getting fired up today, man. We're finishing on a rad note.
Oh, boy.
People all getting all crazy. And you got
Jeez.
stalkers, and we got misguided lovers and that are 26 on their third lovemaking
ridiculous.
decision. I'm telling you, got to find out about that guy. I'm going to track him down.
This is
Well,
as long as
folks,
we don't read
on
about
My Unfold was here today with my main man, Mark
Thank you.
Monroe.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And Eugene Jim. And I tell you guys, it's awesome. I mean, I am really
I'm
excited.
excited.
I can't wait till it gets launched. You guys do it, man. Dare to dream and make it happen.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
It's like we're already getting good feedback in the sense that we launched our commercial video, and I think it was like over the weekend we hit like almost 20,000 hits.
No,
Good
the
for you.
one on YouTube is great.
Yeah.
That's a great
I think
commercial.
I don't know the address. And YouTube, they give you these addresses which have all these numbers.
No, but
Just find us on YouTube.
Just find us on YouTube.
No,
You
if
just
you go to
Google
My Unfold on
Unfold.
YouTube, the commercial,
Just Google My Unfold, all one word.
the
and
commercial
you're
just
good.
pops up. But I think, hey, it's gonna be big. Look forward.
Thank you.
It's gonna grow, and I can't wait to have you guys back when you're retired, and we're at your little island next to Bill Gates.
Well, no, we'll be doing philanthropy after this. So
Okay,
we're gonna have
whatever.
to come to you and be like, hey,
You're gonna try to buy a sports team, so you have something to whine about. Right?
I'll make sure it's not a Seattle team.
Oh, here we go, man. Here we go.
We're running out of time.
I don't want to jinx it. But I did have to add a little controversy.
Kill
Do
the
not
mic.
kill the mic.
Kill the mic. I mean, come on, see?
Just don't steal mine. Just don't steal mine. I'm going to keep it over here.
But coming up, though, so, coming down the road here on the Jopra Show, we're going to be start launching the dating game in about 3 weeks. We'll be having the dating game coming up in 2013. We'll be looking for single people. So hit the Jopra Show on the Facebook or go to Jopra Show at Gmail. Let me know if you want to be on the dating game. It's going to be a great show.
At me, Mark?
Yeah, Eugene, ladies and gentlemen, and Mr. Tonic. And so then we'll be sitting around having that.
A little squeeze.
Also on the Jopra Show, we'll be hitting in November, will be the Taste of Tulalip. I'll be on November 9th. We're going to be up there doing a live show, so you'll be seeing them at the Jopra Show. We'll be blowing up. But coming up down the stretch, Doug Claretz from $1permonth.org and gentleman from The Bachelor is in Seattle. And he's going to come on the show and talk about his nonprofit organization that he's got going. That's doing really good. And no, he does not want to date Lisa. He's looking for someone a little shorter, he told me. So,
okay.
Shorter.
You know what that means when a guy wants to date somebody shorter.
Yes. So they'll be coming up next. You guys. So that'll be up on the Jopra Show coming up next week. So things are out of control around here today, and I tell you this: dare to dream, people, dare to dream on the Jopra Show, and you see it going on today. Once again, we're very blessed, and this is definitely a Jopra approved situation with My Unfolds, and I want you guys to continue to grow and make things happen. Next week, though,
Jopra approved.
That's my boy right there, on point, my man Eric Ryder. And so we'll be doing that. And then next week, also, we're going to have a little flashback, bringing my boys from the football world to talk about week 5 in fantasy football. They want to come back, and they're going to tell you about who to drop and who to pick up, because we're at that point in time on the halfway mark where fantasy football is getting serious. So on the Jopra Show, I'm Joe Janot. Kicking it with Mark Monroe, Eugene Jim, and Lisa Martin. And don't forget my main man, Eric Ryder, being the producer of a great show at 1150 KKNW Alternative Talk Radio on the Jopra Show. And I'm out. Have a good day.